This is the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G, a smartphone that currently retails for 495,000 naira, roughly $380 for the 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of internal storage. Let's find out if this is worth the money. Out of the box, the items you get to see are the smartphone itself, a TPU case, a 120 watts charger, a USB cable, the paperwork, and a SIM ejector. An almost complete unboxing package and experience, except that you do not get a pair of earpiece or earphones in this box, and that's partly because you do not have the headphone jack here. And also, Redmi hasn't been known to provide headphones also with their packaging, at least for the mid-range devices. And that gets me to the build and design of the smartphone. If I'm being honest here, holding the smartphone felt like stepping back to the excitement I had when I held the Galaxy S8 Plus back in 2017. Now, it might not be as slim or as tall, but it brings its own style with edges that are curved and also the back that's curved here, making it a real eye-catcher without trying too hard. It's not just all design here, you get an IP68 rating, meaning this can be immersed in water up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. As seen on the SIM tray here, there is this water seal, and also you notice that there is no option to upgrade your storage on this device, just dual nano SIMs. There's support for eSIM with this device, so if you activate the eSIM feature on the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G, I'm not going to call it long ass name no more, that disables the second SIM and vice versa. Holding the smartphone feels just right, and the curves here make it easy to hang on to and use. Everything is actually laid out perfectly, the keyboard is perfect here, the curve and the back make this easy to hold, and there's this little catch as far as the build quality, and that's the fact that the headphone jack is missing on this device. Yes, unlike the regular Redmi Note 13, this model decided to skip the headphone jack, and I kind of wish this was still here. You get an IR blaster to control your electronics and an in-display fingerprint scanner on the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G. Stop calling the longest name, which is decently fast for what it does, but my only concern here is the placement. It feels a little bit too low if you ask me. Maybe a few centimeters higher would have been best for reach. Now, audio is superb, sounds great with loud and clean bass, and I also appreciate the stereo speaker configuration we have on this device. At the top and the bottom here, you get firing speakers at the top and the bottom of the smartphone, meaning you won't easily cover both ends when using this or handling this device. As far as what you hear when you make your recordings or what people hear over the phone when you're talking to them, this is what it sounds like. This is what you're going to hear over the phone on the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G. Let me know what you think about the sound quality, how it expresses my voice. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, let's dive into the display of the Redmi Note 13 here. This is a 6.7-inch screen in your hands with an AMOLED technology. Now, when it comes to clarity, the phone plays in the big leagues with a resolution that is 2712 by 1220, over 420 pixels per inch in terms of the pixel density, and that means everything is super sharp on the smartphone. This reminds me of the display on the Xiaomi 12T Pro, except for the brightness levels here. Now, it isn't only about looking pretty, it's also about how smooth everything feels. With the 120Hz refresh rate here, scrolling through your feed, menus and animations are like sliding on ice. Effortlessly smooth would be the term. If you want to use the smartphone outdoors with up to 1800 nits of brightness, there isn't an issue with daylight viewing under direct sunlight. Other additions to the display here include Dolby Vision and HDR10+, giving you colors that pop and blacks that are truly black. Now, to top it all off, you get a Corning Gorilla Glass Victus protection to protect this display. So this is tough, scratch resistant, and ready for life's little oops moments. Under the hood is the MediaTek Dimensity 7200 Ultra, a 4nm chipset that efficiently handles the need for speed on this device. Coupled with the 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage I have here for my unit, you can also get up to 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. This storage also is UFS 3.1, which is an upgrade to the UFS 2.2 you get from the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G from last year. Performance is definitely top tier for the price, really smooth for day-to-day use and even tasking activities. If you love to see the benchmark scores on this device, you can check out the Geekbench and Antutu scores on screen. By the way, you can hit on that like button and also subscribe to this channel as it does help us a bunch. Thanks. Now let's get into gaming because I know that's why some of you are here. Have you ever tried playing PUBG and your phone just, gave up? Well, not with this beast. We're talking Ultra HDR graphics and ultra frame rates, a really smooth gameplay that doesn't stutter or lag. I also tried out Call of Duty on the smartphone and it went to very high graphics and very high frame rates without breaking a sweat. This is that mid-range gaming smartphone you might want to lay your hands on for under $400. Now when you get the smartphone, you're greeted with the sleek and smooth Android 13, decked out with the MIUI 14 skin. Now let's talk about longevity here. Xiaomi promises to keep your phone in the loop with the cool keys for a solid 3 years of OS updates, and that means that the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G isn't just smart today, it's staying smart, getting all the fresh Android updates and keeping up with the new features for years to come. And now let's move over to the cameras. For the cameras, there's a 200 megapixel main lens, an 8 megapixel ultra wide, and a 2 megapixel macro lens, while to the front side you have a 16 megapixel sensor. Now, as far as exposure handling and giving you good looking photos, this is one I like. In fact, it has improved the dynamic range when compared to the predecessor. Photos are really vibrant, better looking, and closer to what you see with your eyes. You get this cleaner white balance, not those that tilt to one side of the white balance scale, and I truly like the contrast this generally gives. This is really good. Videos are 1080p for the front-facing camera and 4K 30fps for the rear cameras. There's also stabilization for the videos you get from the smartphone. Generally, I think this smartphone gives you some of the best cameras you can get, especially for the rear camera, for this price point. My only gripe here would be the fact that the front-facing camera doesn't give as much quality or as good a quality as you'd get from the rear cameras. Now let's talk about the batteries here. You get a 5000 mAh battery capacity, capable of taking you through the day with its efficient processor. But here's where it gets juicy. Have you ever been so low on battery that you're rationing your screen time? Well, with the 120Hz super fast charger you get within the box here, you can plug in the smartphone, take a quick shower, and your phone's battery is fully charged. Yes, you heard that right. From 0 to 100% in just 25 minutes. Now that's super fast. Battery isn't something I'll complain about with this smartphone. It's really good as far as the battery life on here, trust me. So for the price of 495,000 naira, $380 for my variant here, I think this is a worthy buy. Display is on point, the performance is almost perfect, build quality isn't far from perfect, the cameras for the rear are great and an upgrade from the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G. The only thing I thought could have been better is the front-facing camera on the smartphone. So right now I can truly recommend this smartphone, except the competition gives this smartphone a run for the money. Maybe something around the Galaxy A55 from Samsung. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and also check out these videos here. That day.